strong, so unteachable, and inspire me. That, to me, is a great person. When we talk, I meet them in Hyde Park Corner by the dozens. I would like you to make from an unteachable like me, teachable person. Then you can create miracles, believe me.
No, let me tell you something.
You said
not even Jesus Christ.
This young lady sitting here and you tell her after 2 years she's going to walk.
Hold a second. An unteachable person. Don't play with my brain.
Well, I tell you something.
Young lady.
I tell you something.
No, don't play with my brain.
I met somebody, and I'm very sarcastic.
Raise the voice.
I met somebody that disarmed me too, and made me respond to him. When I spoke, he listened, and he respected, and he kept his own opinion. After that, I respect him all the way. You talk and talk and talk. What are you trying to say? Only if I am willing, then you can cure me. Only if I am willing, then you can cure me. I don't have the will. How about you to inspire me instead of discarding me and saying I'm unteachable?
Young lady.
But you said you can cure people in 5 minutes.
No.
You said people don't want to argue.
You are taking
you.
what
You invite all those politicians.
This whirlpool. This is the whirlpool. This is the whirlpool. I'll let it go on a little bit because this is the whirlpool that doesn't go anywhere.
You said those politicians are so terrified of you that will not come. Those politicians are so terrified of you that will not come and argue with you. Didn't you say that?
You're not a politician, are you?
Pardon?
Are you a politician?
Does it matter who I am? How about just a human being?
But you're not arguing with me.
Okay.
You don't even know what I'm talking about, right? How can you argue with me? How can you argue with me if you don't know what I'm talking about? You're only putting words in my mouth I never said.
I did not.
So we can't argue.
I did not. I have been writing. These are
forget it now.
These are your
words. This gentleman would like to talk to you. Just let gentleman know.
She hears you, but she doesn't hear you.
She doesn't understand.
Yeah. I do not understand.
Excuse me, young lady in the orange dress.
Behold the whirlpool. Don't do it. All right.
Hello.
Young ladies,
hello there,
lady who would like to address.
Hello. 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 I'm just an ordinary person, the same as everyone else here. But I used to look at that man, Roy Masters, and think, who does he think he is? You know, standing up there, and I couldn't look him in the eye like I'm doing now. But I didn't come in with a book and a pencil.
How do you think his wife feels?
No, look, you're no, listen, I didn't. No, have you ever met his wife? Oh, but you're so.
They're going to set my wife on her.
No.
They're going to set my wife on her.
No.
Yeah. Here and tell everybody here that I'm a
Where's your husband? Where's your husband?
You're trying to find cracks. Where's my husband?
Yeah.
If I tell you he is back home and I negotiated with him, shall I go to a workshop today? And he said to me, yes, go. Thank you. What I'm trying to say is, if I was your wife, what kind of relationship this really is, to be humiliated by so many people.
Well, you know, but you're.
The respect.
Here she is. Here she is. Give her the microphone. Tell her what you think.
I dare not.
She says I humiliate you, and she couldn't live with you.
I said, if I was your wife.
Okay. Well.
And you will call me cuckoo, and
Well, she has been cuckoo, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, every woman's been cuckoo.
Oh, now.
You actually.
Well, who are you to judge me when you don't know me?
Exactly. I did not judge you.
Oh, yes, you did.
Just a moment.
No, she doesn't speak now. They're on the face.
I've never seen your face in
But-
my life. All I'm saying is, my husband.
Was-
Exactly. I did not judge you.
Oh, yes, you did.
Just a moment.
No, she doesn't speak now. They're on the face.
I've never seen your face in
But-
my life. All I'm saying is, my husband.
Well, she said I was like Jane Fonda.
No, because she had been talking about Jane Fonda.
Pardon?
Leave me out of it.
I think best you don't.
Talking so much I can't understand her, and she speaks too fast.
Okay, now let us say what our life is with me.
Oh.
Well, what?
I am not interested. All I am saying is.
Say one thing to her.
If my husband would stand up there and humiliate me, and relationship I really want to have is that how can I see you? How I really want to learn something. But how can I have a relationship with you if you don't have sex with me for 20 years? And if you call me cuckoo, if you call me cuckoo, and if you call me cuckoo, if you call me cuckoo, and if you don't see me,
You pick out all the negatives.
and if you don't see me as an equal partner, negative,
I wouldn't have
if
sex
you,
with you at all. You're poison, and you're never gonna have sex with a noisy mouth like yours.
if you looked like any man in this room, I'll have sex with you. But the way you are, I will not.
Listen. You're talking so much. I don't even know what's bothering you. What's your problem? Why are you so upset? Did you become identified with what he was saying? Obviously became.
About women all afternoon, all day.
Oh, are you bothered too?
Yes, I'm just listening.
Well, speak up. This is good. Now you have the courage to
I'm
speak.
a woman, and I think he's been doing nothing but insulting women all day. I think
Give me the
have a problem.
Now let me say this to you, so you all understand. You should have been. Now let me say this to you, so you all understand. You should have been speaking up already, and I wouldn't have not let you speak. I'm talking about not women, because you don't represent all women. That's number one. I'm speaking about certain things that unwashed women, how they deal with their husbands. And if you listen very carefully, I was talking about two kinds of human beings. I called one son of a bitch and one bitch. See? Now, I say these are the unwashed, normal kinds of people that create the problems in our society. And I never blame them. You can't see that. You're only seeing how I've attacked you. Inside you, there's a devil center, and the problems of the world, the problems of the whole world that we live in, comes through the female, but the man is responsible for calling it forth. No. Wait a minute. We're not talking about listening. You're not listening. No, you haven't heard a thing I said any more than this lady did. I say it again. Now, wait a minute. No, let me finish. I'll say it again. I say it again. Now, listen carefully. I'll say what I said. Please listen. I said there are sons of bitches, and there are bitches. This comprised most of the world. See, and if you want to come out of that world, and you want to become a woman instead of a female, if you want to become a man instead of a male, then you have to rise above your angers and your hostility and your misuse of women. I have spoken all angers and your hostility and your misuse of women. I have spoken all day about the misuse of women. Do you have a problem with the misuse of women? Are you one of those women that allow yourself to misuse so that you can have the power that I'm talking about? If you are, I can understand why you're upset about things, because you don't like to see yourself revealed. That's your problem. That's the problem with your kind of woman. Your tricks, the games that you play are revealed. Here's another lady that would like to say something.
I was talking to my daughter last night. She had nothing to do with that relationship. And I was saying, she actually said, but he's so weak and I'm trying to test him out. And, I've got to see if he can stand against me, because I can't bear it to see somebody crumble in front of me for the affection that they want from me.
You see, How many women in this room that know they're cuckoo? How many women? There you are. They know it. You're not so cuckoo when you know you're cuckoo. You know that, don't you? All right. Well, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Subject over. The gentleman over there that supported that lady has been quiet all the time. I've been watching him, and the only time he had the courage to speak up is when the lady here, gave forth, and he had the courage to speak up is when the lady here, gave forth, and he came and says, he's a lady supporter. This kind of woman is this man. He's a supporter. He's a mouse.
I'm a human being.
No, you're not.
Shall I tell you
No, you're not.
I respect you.
I don't respect you.
I respect you.
You're rude.
I see wonderful things about you. You're creative. You are warm.
Except you don't agree with me.
You are resourceful. And it's good that I don't agree with you. This is how democracy is built, on people voicing things. I respect you.
No.
I spent the whole day here, go home without resentment. You go back to your room, you say, I had a nasty, silly, stupid woman.
Thank you.
I am a winner. I do not resent you. I think...
Thank you very
what it
much.
takes.
Thank you very much.
Because I have what it takes too, and I'm not a cuckoo.
Yeah.
And I'm not a cuckoo.
Yeah. The lady would like to speak. The lady would like to speak. Shh, quiet, please. The lady would cut this.
You have allowed this to degenerate into this. Or what it is now.
No, it's good. Let me learn.
I have learned odd bits and pieces, but I didn't come here to listen.
Now, let me ask you a question. Do you favor this lady's behavior?
I think she has a right to say, everybody has
Well, then I gave her the right to say it, and then you tell me I favor it. You're confusing me.
I think she's very brave, that lady, and the trouble is with women, they never stick together. Men always with women, they never stick together. Men always do.
Oh, all right. Well, I know. Well, no need for the cat calls. No need for the cat calls. Here you see. Here's another form of confusion. Here's another form of confusion. I allowed her. She says she's surprised that I've allowed it to degenerate to this. Generate to this. You see. See. Then I'm criticized for it. You see. She's talking about freedom.
I am not confused. I am an achiever, and I am a full partner with my husband.
Man, I just love to see what your husband is like.
My husband must be a good man. My husband is a good man. My husband is technical. My husband is intelligent. My husband is a very compassionate person. I've got a friend here that knows my husband. My husband is polite. My husband will never marry a cuckoo. He wants
Are you sure?
thinking. Right this moment, I am a cuckoo.
No, you're a willful witch. Just a willful witch. You're not talking to me intelligently. You've taken everything I've said and twisted it, so just let it go. Listen, I know better, so let it go.
Can you say anything
Just
good about me or just another cuckoo?
no, I don't know. I can't see any good in you right now. I see only a mean spirit. Yeah, mean. You're not speaking up for yourself. You're being mean.
When I said I respect you, I was...
No, you don't respect me. You're talking out of both sides of your mouth at the same time.
I do.
No, you don't.
You have got sense of humor, you're entertaining, you're resourceful.
No, you don't.
You have got sense of humor, you're entertaining, you're resourceful. You know how to make money. These people are interesting people.
No, don't do that. No, don't do that. That's not nice. Okay, thank you very much. Goodbye. Now you go home. Bye.
Yeah.
I'd like to come to you and treat me up.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. He's not. That gentleman is not together. Yeah.
I think if you look around at that debate that's been simmering over the afternoon, everybody's
right.
had their emotional wires really tugged. And you see why that this kind of thing's going on all across the country now, in every home, like the battle between the sexes. This is what they want for the future. This is what our country's degenerated into. Not man and woman, just two animals going at each other. Two animals going at each other. Really.
There's no
I mean,
no logic here.
No,
there was there was no need. There was no intent to come to a consensus, to an agreement.
But all there is a. Do you know what you can get? You know what my definition of hell is? It's a standoff between two animals just growling at each other, and all that you've got between you is a bit of dirt that's a bit of a no man's land, and you can't make. God never put us on earth to be like that. I
My
mean,
wife
this
used
is
to
what
be
we-
like that.
Yeah, that's
Didn't
it.
you, Anne?
I
She
mean,
used to be
that
like
is-
that.
That. Yeah, I mean that is the total unreasonable spirit that we're nurturing in this country today. Not just in women, but in men. The same. There's nothing there. There's just a will, and that's it.
You know, when you're dealing with a certain kind of female. Now remember how I'm determining is a certain I'm determining is a certain kind of female. There's a certain kind of men. Identifies all women. She thinks she's all women. She isn't, because there are women and women, and there are men and men. And I'm trying to get you to identify that quality in you, that meanness. I'm trying to get you to identify that quality in you, that meanness, that part of you. If you're a woman, you got to see there's a part of you that never wants to see a conclusion. You can have an argument with a certain type of woman, and 3 days later you forgot what the argument was around. She slithered around and just changed the subject so many different times, you forgot what the argument's about. That's that kind of woman. And that man who lives with her has given into that. Huh? He has? Or did she say? She said that she's home. Oh, is that right? Oh, I see. There's no way, that's a dangerous lady. And there's no need, she takes little bits and pieces, writes it all down, and then picks them out and said, you said this. But out of context, without the understanding of what I'm saying. It's just to reinforce everyone here so that make the point. Wrong in man, and you carry your baggage with you. The men carried their baggage with them. And the wrong in the woman, the man draws forth the wrong in the woman, and you have hell on earth. You women have to understand what men are drawing forth in you, and learn to overcome that. What men are drawing forth in you, and learn to overcome that. And you men have to stop drawing forth in that woman what you think you need to complete you. Because instead of becoming a complete man, you become a complete ass. And women can't live with that. They're looking for a man that does. Women can't live with that. They're looking for a man that is a whole man that doesn't need to cling to a woman, you see. Oh, I made her like that, yeah. Sure. Or a man allowed her to be that way.
That's what you've got to remember when you see the lady walk out the door. That's not her fault. How that pulled that out of her and made her, well, you're just seeing.
There's a woman who rewards a man for being wimpy. And says he's intelligent, he's smart. He rewards his weaknesses. And she's in control of it. She didn't like that part of me that is really a man. See? And my wife said, well, she never was as bad as that, but she was like that. And it was a struggle. But now we have happy home. I'm in charge. Thank you. Yes. No. Well, the Fang is learning to be as strong strong in my right, and what I know is right in the heart, standing forth from it. And one of the ways you deal with a woman, see, sex is the most important power of that kind of woman. That's why she was a little disturbed. Sex is the most important power of that kind of woman. That's why she was a little disturbed about the sex thing. See, if her husband ever unplugs, she'll lose her power. See? So one of the ways you deal with women who are disturbed, as a matter of fact, the way you make women disturbed is having sex with them. And disturbed is having sex with them. You see, if they're not stable, and you have sex with them, you start to empower them. And they start to take liberties with you. So a man has the choice, when he realizes it, is to listen. He either runs away and have sex with another woman, you got a broken home. And the same thing happens again. Choice between sex and true love. See, so I made a choice a long time ago that I can't give her power because that's how she's getting it. She's not mature. And the only way she's going to be sane is for me to deprive myself of what all men think they need. Depriving myself of what I married for, and still love her, and still be there, and watch over the kids, and long to be long-suffering and patient and never angry, and let her get to fly off the handle a few times and learn to just be there and be strong and wait till she's over her tizzy. For her tizzy. See? No, but yeah, the Bible says that, but the point is, there are lots of things the Bible says that the Bible should say and is silent on, and I'm talking to you about those things. Because the Bible also says you should have wives as if you never had wives. About those things. Because the Bible also says you should have wives as if you never had wives. So you have to reconcile what is it meant by that. And that's what Paul said, and Paul was never married, poor thing, so he doesn't know what was missing.
Maybe it meant we shouldn't deny each other love.
We're not deprive each other of relationships, but you have to understand that except by mutual consent. But even if a woman doesn't by mutual consent, but you know that the woman is getting power from that, and that kind of loving strengthens her ego, so she's more demanding and more crazy. Have you ever had sex with a woman who understands that? Anybody seen that? Come on. Somebody got in. Yeah? You see? All right. That was you, was it? See, well, you have to watch that. You have to watch that. When you have sex with your wife and she's a little crazy next day, it's because you've given her the power. And because if sex is seen to be love, the worship of it only encourages her to be the witch that's in there. See, you scratch your hood and head, what's going on? And so you have to deprive her of that. Going on. And so you have to deprive her of that for her own sake. Because she's using sex not in a natural way, but in a way to fuel that ego, you see. Anyway, did you enjoy yourself today? It was a good... Oh, sorry, beg your pardon.
I was going to say that I'm not really disturbed by the lady taking exception to the things that you were saying when you were speaking openly about the man-woman relationship, because there was probably a time in the early stages before I fully understood that you were speaking out of love, and that you really truly love, that is why you love, and that you really truly love, that is why you would point out someone's errors. Until I understood that, I probably would have taken exception as well. And I suppose everybody takes exception when they are criticized.
Sure.
Until they realize that it's a loving thing that someone is doing when they criticize.
But you don't stand up to a woman like this. You don't stand up to her because she'll confuse you. She purposely misunderstands everything you say and makes you explain it. But you can't get a word in edgeways because she's going to misinterpret even those words you explain with. Yeah. Yeah. But the truth of the matter is this. She was angry because she has no love. She says, I'm angry and I'll have problems. But she says, I won. Do you see the ego? When she goes out of here, she will be fixed to the things I've said. Guaranteed. See, I know how to keep that sort of thing out. That's what I've been talking about all day. See? Well, huh? Well, if you live with her, she is, yeah. Yes, she is. So she could respect me so long as I'll understand her ways, respect any of those ways. Yeah, if I keep my mouth shut, and be nice and polite and don't say anything and keep everything under the covers, so to speak, then we get along fine. But, then we get along fine. But, is any other ladies here? Listen, it'd be nice if there's any ladies here that would like to register a complaint, do so with dignity, for goodness sake. I mean, I have no problem you disagreeing with me. I have a different with being argumentative. Argument, that's not arguing, because she didn't understand what I said, so how could she argue with me? You see, it's not she didn't understand what I was saying. Yes, here we are.
You always refer that once you have the male love and your family's okay and everything's hunky-dory, and the thing is, surely a woman, if she's, say, single, she's ended up with children, she can bring up her children in a way that is, that they are going to be okay. The guy who makes everything okay. And in today's world, we have problems.
It's a good thing you brought it up, because it's absolutely true what you're saying. But however, there's one thing you have to remember. A woman can bring up her children as a man can. But there's one thing she's got to give up. She's got to give up the bitch. She's got to give up looking for men. She's got to satisfy this inner hunger.
But perhaps you should mention that a bit more, because you always are hinting against the men.
I can't. Tomorrow, we got another day tomorrow if you're coming.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Sitting here by the son of the woman, and he's got problems, believe me. Sitting here by the son of the woman, and he's got problems, believe me.
Son, yeah. I thought of that, yeah.
Oh, that was the son, huh? Oh, I saw him falling asleep there. Yeah, please, the lady.
How do you deal with a 3-year-old? Her father left 6 months ago, and is a mother on her own, with me and it's my daughter. Yes.
Is your granddaughter?
Yes.
How do you deal with it?
Yes.
You take her in?
Yeah, we took her in. Yes.
Yeah.
But she's looking for her father.
Well, be a father to her.
Yes, I told her so.
Well, be a father to her.
Yes, I told her so. Yeah.
She will be. If you love her and you're not being angry with me, to not spoil her or anything.
Right.
She'll see that male spirit.
Fine.
That's beautiful.
Thanks.
But you don't have to worry.
Right.
But I do want to say what is your name? You've been talking all the. Frista? Freshler? Language is that?
I'm Iranian.
Iranian. Okay. Because I never heard of that name before. What I said, that a woman, love is neither male nor female. That's why a man, in order to be a man, to have love, he gradually, slowly but surely, he has to learn to love. To have less sex is to have more true love. To have more sex is to have less true love. So there's upgrading. There's a certain upgrading of the male relationship with the woman, so they really become friends, like Adam and Eve.
Then do they
friends like Adam and Eve?
Then do they become more that you leave your male and your female to become a neutral?
Not a neutral. A man is. You see, very quickly. Tomorrow we'll take it up. All right. That in the original sin, we'll take it up. All right. That in the original sin, the original pair. Man was not created like the animals were. He was created from the dust of the earth in exactly the way the Bible says it. And woman was taken out of him. And what that really means is, and the real essence of that is, the distinction is that woman is man's daughter, the bone of his bones. You see, and basically, when the original sin came, when the woman was used to support the rebellion, conversion took place. You see, that the woman became a female. The woman, the downgrade is the female, death coming alive, the seed falling out of a body in terms of the monthly period. And the same thing with a man, is that his separation from God created a change. As all sin produces psychophysical changes. It's called psychosomatic medicine, if you like. See? Psychophysical changes. And the psychophysical change was, man saw he was naked, because it was death coming alive. Men can live forever. Originally, it was designed that men shall live forever. Men can live forever. Originally, it was designed that men shall live forever as long as he embraced the love of God, but he had the choice. The choice came through the female. The serpent was the most subtle of all the creatures of the garden. That's why he approached the female. He didn't approach man directly. And the man used the woman to support. And the man used the woman to support his rebellion. Then he blamed her, right? Isn't that the way it is today? The woman thou hast given me, she made me eat. Don't men blame women for everything that comes through women, through their misuse of them? Don't they, ladies? She can't hear that, see? I'm blaming men. I'm not saying anything mean. And whenever you start talking, get too close to the truth. That's what draws it up. You start hearing cries, there's a woman hater. You start hearing all that political rhetoric so as to muddy the waters so that one does not hear the truth of what's being said. See? Yeah? Who's coming tomorrow? You've had enough of this mean stuff? It was good, wasn't it? That fight was good. That wimpy little man back there, I watched him all the way through. He was just, I watched him. Yeah.
Excuse me, everybody. We'll start our session up the Ashburn Suite at 5:30.
For more information, please write to FHU 27 Old Gloucester Street, London, WC1N 3XX, or email FHU United Kingdom at AOL.com.